2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go Monday show, July 22nd. Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Tell a friend about us as well. Braylon out today in his stead, the great Anson Wells. Anson, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hello, sir. I know you had to get on your horse to get here, and we love having you. I love being here with you.
Well, I love being with you. I just love being here. I'll tell you, one of the tricky things, because I'm starting to do a 1 p.m. webcast stream on the Fox Local app that we're starting to fill and things like that. So I literally get out of there and I book here. And it's so funny that I could save myself 5, 6, 7 minutes if there's parking spots out front.
Yeah,
the parking spaces in Birmingham are the key. Tom Mazaway knows all about the parking spaces here in Birmingham. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, I don't have to fight you anymore for the last spot up here in the front. Welcome in, man. Great weekend. Was in Chicago. What a great city.
How was that, Maz?
I had a great time. I love that place. Wrigley was phenomenal as always. It was a perfect weekend. No humidity. It was great. Kathy had her family reunion for her cousins. All my kids were there, and Lily is, of course, working for the Bears now.
Shout out.
So we got to see her place, and it's all good, man. Back in Detroit. Always loved sleeping in my own bed. Had to go to the chiropractor today. Those drives and that hotel bed will kill you every time.
You got to drive to Chicago, though. Does anybody fly to Chicago anymore?
Not
Back
often.
in the day.
Not often.
Not since Southwest
Those
got rid of
used to
that
be
deal.
like $59.
Yep.
Those were great.
They used to
Back in
fly
the
out of
day.
city.
I got a chiropractor question, because that new technique where they wrap the towel around you or the harness around you and they pull you back and they say it just snaps you from the top all the way to your tailbone. Did you get that done?
What's that?
Where they wrap that harness around your head or the neck or the towel around your neck and they pull back?
No, I didn't
That
do
one
that.
I'm fascinated with.
I got on that table, and that was good, man. I needed it.
I bet.
I needed it.
I love a good chiropractor
Oh, yeah.
Felt
appointment,
great.
no
I
doubt.
could use a massage again.
Absolutely.
Massage would be great.
Absolutely. Pete Spivak, the great KG, is with us as well. How you gentlemen doing? How was your weekend?
Hey, good, man. NCAA college football all weekend long. Sorry, wifey, had to do it. Great game, man. Excited. And, yeah, just living life.
Do you tell her up front this is the week?
I told her this week was going to be real hard for her.
All right, good.
Yeah, so
they
she
got to know
knows.
up front.
Yeah, she
Otherwise, they're
knows.
making plans without even telling you.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a dumb question,
Sure.
Kenny?
Sure.
And this is going to be the dumbest thing. Well, I've said a lot of dumb things, I guess, but this really is.
Yeah.
Explain to me the video game for dummies. Like back in the day, I had a Nintendo, and I
Yeah.
plugged it in the back of my TV, my box TV.
Playing
and
a
then you
10-yard fight.
Then you sit in front of it and you play. How do you even set up? What do you have? An Xbox, a PlayStation?
I have a PlayStation 5.
Is it all Bluetooth now, or what is it?
No, it's pretty much the same as when you were a kid, except instead of AV cables, it's more HDMI cords.
HDMI
And
cord.
interweb.
Yes, and
So
the
I
have that
internet is
interweb.
involved.
And
yes.
then what? Like, do they have DVDs for games, or is it all apps now?
Well, you can get a lot of your games digitally from like the app stores and stuff like that, but there's also still a place for people that like to buy discs as well. So my PS5 has a disc drive, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, a new game came out, and you used to go to, what is it, KB Toys or something
KB
like
Toy
that.
and Hobby.
You
Well, I love that one.
GameStop.
Right,
Yep.
GameStop.
Funko Land back then,
You
but-
stand in
Toys R
line. I don't even
Us.
think we had GameStop when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Toys R Us, though.
Yeah.
That Toys R Us trip
But I
was
mean, you
legendary.
stand in front of the line and you realize that they're out of the game, and then you're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
My thieving friends in New Jersey would go to Toys R Us. They would do the old bait and switch with these games. They'd be walking out of game. They'd be walking out of Toys R Us for free.
Yeah, shout out to my cousin. He was a legend at that.
Okay, Xbox and PlayStation 5. That's like the Nintendo Sega, right?
Yeah, essentially,
Right?
yeah.
That is
Essentially,
the
is that
current
what it is?
Genesis.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
stopped playing after Tecmo Bowl.
Is there one that's way better than the other, or is it
Well,
like
I'm a PlayStation guy, so I would prefer PlayStation.
What makes you a
over
PlayStation
Xbox.
guy?
It's just the Xbox 360. I mean, well, not 360, the Series X now, but it could be like slow in terms of download times and things of that nature. So I just prefer the PlayStation 5, but I'm not opposed to either one.
It's an Android iPhone argument.
Yeah, pretty
for
much.
Them. That's all that is.
What would be equivalent to the iPhone? And what would be equivalent to the Android?
Good question.
That is a good question.
You'd have to say Xbox is Android, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can do a lot more stuff on Xbox than you can PS5.
I'm very curious about the video gaming because all I see on my feed is everybody, like you said, playing the college football, NCAA 25 or whatever, and all these great...
It's nothing special. It's essentially the same as when you played. You can just pick it up and play it. They got a plethora of teams, plethora of different players and things of that nature that you can do. They have a dynasty mode. You can take control of a program and, bring in recruits and all that type of stuff. So it's just more in depth than what it used to be back in the day.
So what program did you take over, KG?
I moved James Madison to the Pac-12. I got rid of all independents. I moved UConn. And,
Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. No, well, yeah. But I moved UConn and Notre Dame to the Big Ten. And we're fighting it out for supremacy right now, man. I'm trying to grill James Madison from the ground up.
Now, am I wrong? But can you not buy the game and play it if you're not online?
So, yeah, you can buy the game or you cannot have the game, but as long as you have online and you have a friend that has the game, they can game share with you.
But if you buy it at the store and you're not hooked up online, you can't just come home and play a season now.
No, because most games are hooked to online. That would
How
be the
terrible
caveat.
is that, Ryan?
Gotta have internet.
Yeah, you gotta have internet. That's the caveat to today's games. You have to have internet in order to really enjoy them.
Well, it's like going to a ball game. You gotta have a smartphone to get your ticket.
Pretty much, yes. The same.
Isn't that what it is?
You can just go to Pete's. What's that store you got? The eBay store, Pete?
Well,
just buy some old games from Pete. You don't need
why
internet
not?
for Pete's
Pete,
games.
do you need internet for your Atari?
No, because I have old school. I have Ryan era consoles in my house.
Burger time, deep
Hey,
cut.
Matt,
That's right, burger time.
I wanted to go back to you if I could quickly because
Please do.
I don't want to just skim over the fact that you went to Wrigley.
Yeah.
I just think that is an
fabulous.
awesome thing. Every year, I'm going to go back to Chicago, go catch a game at Wrigley. Never happens.
I go at least once a year.
Do
to
you
Wrigley.
really?
Yeah, gotta love it. I even go to if I'm there, I try to plan when both teams are around.
Did you go to like
It's
Harry
rare.
Carey's or anything like
We
that?
didn't because we had a group of 10 of us.
Right.
We got it was me and 9 girls.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was me and 9 girls. Kathy and her cousin and all the daughters and cousins. And what you got to do is from where they live in Arlington Heights. You hop on the train there. The train takes you down to whatever station it was. From there, you got to get on. You got to take a bus, which would stop at every corner.
Sure.
Or they have the party buses downstairs, and they are lined up, and they start screaming, "Come on, come with me, $10, come $15." So I'm yelling down, "I got a party at 10, party at 10." The one lady is like, "Come with me, come with me." One guy wants $15 a head to get me to Wrigley. I talked to her. I'm like, "How about $75 each way, $150 round trip?" Done. 10 of us get in. It was great. They throw beers back to the adults, sodas to the rest of us. The girl took us in and out of the place, right to Wrigley. Boom. And, of course, the Cubby Bear, Murphy's Bar, everything.
Murphy's
jammed.
Bleachers.
Murphy's Bleachers. And it's a Friday afternoon.
2:20 game.
Friday, 1:20. That's what it says
1:20.
on the T-shirts. Friday, 1:20. That's the biggest game of the week at Wrigley. And they play the Diamondbacks. And the Cubs are basically a step below the Tigers, if you ask me, as far as hitting and pitching go. So it was like watching the freaking Tigers. But it was a great time. Fantastic.
Did they win?
They lost. They lost. They lost the first 2, and they won last night.
So you
finally.
didn't even get to sing.
We did. Take me out to the ball game.
No. I was saying, "Go Cubs,
No,
go!"
we did not sing the Go
Hey,
Cubs.
Chicago,
Go.
what
Yep.
do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today.
Put the
Go
W up.
Cubs,
How do you
go.
know
Yep.
that?
Oh man,
That's
I watched
great.
WGN.
That's
growing
great.
up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Go WGN growing up. I mean, you got a ball game every day.
I watched a lot of Bozo the Clown on WGN.
Right. Exactly.
Love that
So
show.
lucky for me, they usually have like a guest person that does take me out to the ball game. They had the Harry Carey throwback.
Get
perfect.
out of
And
here.
you know that's my
Perfect.
guy. So I was like in my glory.
Oh
And
my God.
Drunk
got my
or sober
picture-
edition?
Got my picture next to the Harry Carey statue, of course. Got to do that every year. And I got my Cubs shirt. with the Cub, with the big glasses on him, for Harry Carey. I'm all about it, man. What a great time.
That is so awesome.
Great time.
I got to
So
get to
awesome.
Wrigley.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you been there?
No,
Bro,
I have not.
there's
I gotta
not a
get there.
seat empty.
No.
Not a seat empty.
I know it. It's so great. There's nothing better.
Can I throw out real quick? I was fortunate enough to go to Wrigley, the 1989 All-Star game.
cool.
Really?
Bo Jackson, Dave Stewart. So that was my experience
You were
at
at
Wrigley
that game?
Field. Love that game.
That's
Yeah, as a
fantastic.
kid. Yeah, I love that game. So
Good for you.
Okay.
Jack.
Just a sidebar conversation. Fenway or Wrigley?
Oh, Wrigley.
Oh, Wrigley.
All
Yeah.
day.
Really?
Wrigley.
Well,
I
is that
can't
just
help
because
it.
you're New York?
Right, I hate it.
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
That's a biased answer.
I can't help myself.
When I went to Fenway in 2013, that was the Ortiz.
Yeah.
That was one of the most
The Grand
incredible
Slam?
experiences that I had. My job at Fox 2 is allowed me to do a lot of cool stuff.
Tiger should have went up 2-0.
Absolutely. Joaquin Benoit.
Yep.
When I had the opportunity to stand on the field at Fenway Park, there was something that was like, wow, this is really cool right now.
Yeah.
Real
This
history.
is really cool. But being a fan, man, I kind of have to say that there is nothing like watching a game at Wrigley. And I almost think you got to watch a game from the Wrigley bleachers.
Yep.
You know,
They were giving out tank tops for the bleacher creatures.
Oh, my gosh.
The line is like 4 blocks long because once they open those gates, you run. You
Wow.
run to get the best seat in the house.
How do
Wow.
you turn the white trash section into more white trash?
Oh, my
Give them
gosh.
tank tops.
Oh my goodness. Kevin Donaldson says, been to Wrigley once. The Tigers were there. Scottie Pippen throughout the first pitch. Great time. Beautiful, good old ballpark.
What a game. I mean, what a beautiful stadium.
Right.
Beautiful.
William says, so disappointing that Detroit used to have a place like Wrigley and replaced it with an overpriced stadium. Tiger Stadium was...
It wasn't Wrigley.
It wasn't Wrigley.
But it was ours,
I know.
It was great.
And could something have been done to save that place? When you think about it,
Yes.
Comerica Park,
Yeah.
I think is great, but
It is.
you just cannot have obstructed view anymore. You cannot have
Wrigley has it. They got poles all over the place.
Do they?
Cougar.
But look
yeah,
how
you go behind the
Wrigley
pole.
is.
I
that's when
guess
you
you're
get it.
right.
All four,
Fenway does too, actually.
Yeah,
Fenway does
you
too.
can't
Who
help
am I
it.
telling?
Those are really old
all
balls.
four
Yeah.
of the houses that we won championships in last are gone.
Yeah,
all four
they
of
are.
them.
Well, yeah, Tiger Stadium, Joe Louis
I guess
Arena,
we never
the
won one
Palace.
at the Silverdome.
Never
but
won one,
Yeah.
but you won a playoff game there, I guess.
There was a Super Bowl one there.
There was a
Panthers
Super
won
Bowl.
There
there.
was.
Yeah. So interesting, man.
USFL.
When you think back to that old jewel, Tiger Stadium, and then you see all these other places getting facelifts.
Yeah.
Like, could there have been something done? But then,
There's only 3 stadiums that have been around that are still there.
I
It's
know.
Wrigley, Fenway, and Dodger Stadium.
and
That's
honestly,
it.
the same Yankees got rid of their stadium
Yes.
as well.
Yep.
Yankee Stadium is gone.
Yeah.
It's like a mall now.
Absolutely. So you move with the times. I would not trade Tiger Stadium for Comerica Park and all the things that happened after that to the city of Detroit. Where Tiger Stadium was, Michigan and Trumbull, what they did, what Mike Ilitch did, really by, helping to create this Foxtown and downtown and
It's beautiful.
putting a ballpark right in the middle of downtown. I think it just reshaped the city of Detroit. And I don't think you could have done that without having a ballpark right there. And
Yep.
that city is so much better for it.
It is, bro.
Our city is so much better for it. So
I love
as
that our
much as
teams
I
are
love
there.
Tiger Stadium, I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't make that trade.
If they could have done one thing, they should have had something that resembled Tiger Stadium in the construction, the right field overhang. It's something that Tiger Stadium had that you could hang your hat on. They should have done that at least. But Comerica over the years has become I think one of the best parks in the league. They have done a fantastic job facelifting that place year after year. They have the best video now. The audio is fantastic. The lights are great. And like you said, the cityscape that you're looking at is beautiful. If they only moved the scoreboard to the right a little bit, just to cover the DAC garage, it would have been perfect.
Right?
But there was a lot of palms greased on that deal.
Yeah.
Right.
No question
Big
about
facts.
it.
No doubt. Hey, speaking of the Tigers, guys.
About 'em.
They have opened up the second half of the season.
Did you get the app yet?
Taking the series against the Toronto Blue Jays, and I did get the app.
Yes.
Oh,
I did get Valley Sports. And you know what? If they sell, I'm going to get rid of it.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Sell,
If they sell, I'm going to get rid of it.
Get in there.
But
and
they have
sell.
drawn me back in. These Detroit Tigers are playing their butts off.
They should have won
And
yesterday.
even yesterday, when they lose 5-4 in the finale to the Toronto Blue Jays, Anson, these guys are playing hard. They're playing tough. They're playing good ball. And here we go. You've got 8 days, 9 days before the trade deadline. 8 days, 9 games before the trade deadline.
The 30th.
Man, oh man, you got 4 against the Guardians. I'm not sure if they've already made up their mind or not, but if they did not make up their mind yet on whether they were going to buy or sell, I hope they can maybe take the first 2 in Cleveland and then you got to win tonight. You got to win the Scooble game.
Scooble.
Anytime Scooble's going,
Yes,
you got to
sir.
win that game.
Yes, sir.
But man, they could make this thing fun. They could make it fun.
Yeah, well, from what I'm hearing, the Tigers are in Norfolk right now scouting some of these guys that they could potentially acquire.
That's Baltimore's minors.
Yeah, that is Baltimore's minor team. So for me, Jackson Holiday, Samuel Basallo, and Kobe Mayo, those 3 guys could all be called up the day we made that trade.
Yeah.
I don't have the Bally app, but if I did and they made that specific trade, I'd still be intrigued because realistically, all 3 of those guys could really be called up the day that trade is made. And what those guys would do to this team, it would be very exciting to watch. It'd be hard to not see our boy every 5 days. But man, you look at all of the old, whether it's the Sale trade, Verlander trade, even the Miggy trade, those guys, those prospects that we picked up and those teams got in those trades, who's Cameron Maybin? So even though last week I was talking that they probably should move him, those are the only 3 that I would take for him. Now, Spencer Jones and some J-Dom, that would also be pretty exciting, but I'm starting to want to hold.
So all of these names that you're naming outside of Jackson Holiday because of who his dad was, I know nothing about. And I'm sure they're high-level prospects, and I'm sure they're great. And if they made the trade and it worked out, I'm sure I'd change my opinion on it. I just have a hard time believing that you could trade the best pitcher in the American League, the best pitcher in baseball. You have him on your team, and you're going to, instead of not locking him up, you're going to trade him. And I have a hard time believing that that's something that is in the best interest of this organization. And that is the best case scenario is if all 3 of, or 4 or 5 of those names that you said, all of them have to hit. And all of them have to hit big. They just can't be random major leaguers that fill out a lineup. They all have to be superstars. 2 of them, 3 of them.
Look at Bobby Witt, what he's doing. His dad, how he played. I mean, you need that.
Bobby Witt
what you're saying.
Bobby Witt is an MVP candidate.
He is.
So now if you give me an MVP candidate back in another piece, I think it's definitely something you have to look at. I'm glad the Tigers are in Norfolk. That makes me feel confident that they're doing their homework on all of these players. And maybe you say, look, there's 6 teams we have to jump.
It's tough.
It's not realistic. I just think Tarek Skubal is so good. And when you do get good, and the hope is that you will be great one day, man, when you do make the playoffs, wouldn't you like to fill out Skubal's name in game 1? Or how about in game 5 or in game 7 or in game 163, right? In game 163.
We could use one of those.
Yeah, right?
Last one was Rick Porcello.
That's right. You need a guy to throw out there. And I'm not saying they don't have that guy right now, but outside of Tarek Skubal, man, I'd have a hard time trading him.
You got Jackson Jobe coming up. He's supposed to be what Skubal is now. Remember, Skubal was a 9th-round pick, Jackson Jobe a 1st-round pick. 2 different ways to go about it. But here they are. Casey Mize, a 1st-round pick. Not as exciting as Tarek Skubal right now with all the injuries he's had. Spencer Torkelson, 1st pick overall. And then you still have Tarek Skubal that you picked in the 9th freaking round. He's like your Tom Brady. He is like your Tom Brady. So if you're going to trade him, you better get the best guy Baltimore's got and maybe a couple of more guys. But from what I understand, and my friend Brian told me this, big baseball guy, Baltimore is as cheap as us. They don't spend. They don't go out on the free agent market and hit it big. More than likely, they go after a 2nd or 3rd tier pitcher, maybe 2 of them.
Maybe like a Jack Flaherty.
Exactly. But Jack Flaherty was already in Baltimore. They probably won't go for him. They know this guy's got back issues.
And he got the injury in there, too.
He's got back issues.
Yeah.
He's not going to go to him. They'll go to somebody else. So Baltimore, if they do give up Jackson Holliday, that is their number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter what
And
they
you put
do,
him at shortstop, brother. You're sitting Baez for Jackson Holliday. Even if Jackson Holliday doesn't hit the rest of the year, it's the same thing, and you're giving him experience. What you're getting now.
He's better than Baez.
I'm
a shortstop, man.
There is no conversation that takes place regarding Skubal unless Jackson Holliday's name is involved
Correct.
in it. I think that's
Facts.
something we all agree on, right?
Facts.
It's got to be Jackson Holliday and whatever
Yeah.
after that. Don't even talk to me unless it is him. I just, again, no matter what happens, you're going to have people make an argument one way or the other.
Yeah.
And we'll probably, if they hold Tarek Skubal, don't trade him, flame out in the second half, should have traded him.
Yeah.
You know, if they trade Tarek Skubal and Jackson Holliday doesn't become what we think he can become, and by that I mean like a Bobby Witt Jr. type player, an MVP candidate type player, then you're going to say Scott Harris. This is Scott Harris's legacy. Almost is going to happen in the next 8 days. What are you going to do with Skubal?
Yeah.
Not every team has this chip. They have club control for a couple of years. Don't even have to pay him. He doesn't even make any money right now. Legitimate starting pitcher, Cy Young money yet. I don't know, man.
Did you see over the weekend in Toronto, Chris Ilitch and Scott Harris were at the game sitting there talking and watching the game. When you see Chris Ilitch, you very rarely see him. You're starting to see him pop up. He had to be excited from what he saw over the weekend. And if Scott Harris has his ear, you already heard A.J. Hinch. They asked him, what do you want to do?
Buy.
He's like, I want to buy. I talked to Dan Dickerson. What do you want to do? I want to buy. It's time, man. It's time. 10 years. That's it. We're done waiting.
And
we're done waiting.
And I have to say, part of the buying, Anson, is let me pop up this schedule for you. This is the remaining schedule, the hardest schedule and the easiest schedule remaining in baseball.
I like that.
If you look on the bottom right of this chart, the Detroit Tigers have the 26th strength of schedule, meaning they have the 5th easiest schedule of any team going right now. Easier than any team that they are battling for the wild card.
Yeah, Kansas City at 18. The Guardians at number 3.
And the Sox, it doesn't matter.
Sox,
Royals,
it doesn't matter at 13.
Royals?
Yeah, that's an advantage, certainly.
Yeah,
You know,
the Royals are at 18.
The thing that's interesting for me is Corbin Burns has gone out and said that he is not going to re-sign in Baltimore. He may not be the best pitcher in baseball this season, but over the last few, he has been at or near the top. When you have a window like that, as the Orioles do, you've got to make this move.
Yeah.
And that might mean overpaying. The one thing that I do like about this deal, the 3 guys I mentioned, we've talked about Jackson Holliday plenty. So catcher, first baseman in Samuel Basallo, and then Colby Mayo, who's a third baseman. I'm not as high on Colby Mayo, but all 3 of these guys are sitting in the top 10 on most lists, and they are all ready to play. Now, when Tiger fans look back and see how we got Miggy, and there was people complaining about giving up Cameron Maybin. Cameron Maybin was playing single A ball at the time. Yeah. And a lot of the trades that you've seen the Tigers do over the years were for extreme prospects. And when I mean extreme prospects, I mean 18, 19-year-olds that are at the A or high A level. Guys that are a year or two or more away. All three of these guys are ready to contribute. When you look at the Yankees, who I know they're pushing right now to try and get a leverage offer, we're talking about Spencer Jones. This guy's cut out of the same mold as Aaron Judge. And then you got a guy in Jason Dominguez who's already been up and really looks to be in the same mold as a Jackson Holiday. You're going to see Baltimore absolutely do something because they know that this is their window. Now, whether they're going to be willing to overpay enough to satisfy both Tigers brass and their fans, we're going to find out. But I don't think that the Tigers are going to run in and quickly do this deal. What do you think, KG?
No, I definitely think that they need to listen to a deal like this if it's on the table. And we need to look at it more like, and shout out to Cody Engel in the chat. He kind of echoed something that I said last week. We need to look at this more like the Matt Stafford trade. If at one period we thought trading Matt Stafford was crazy, especially for a whole bunch of draft picks and Jared Goff, like how is that gonna jumpstart us, man? But you look at it now, and it may go down as one of the most even trades in NFL history, man. And I think a trade like that can be what the Tigers are receiving in this. You're filling a lot of holes in the infield by doing this deal. Like you said, these guys aren't just team rated prospects. These are some of the MLB top 100 prospects, in the top 20. So these guys, they are ready to come up. They're ready to make an impact on this team now. And then you have a foundation for your young guys when they eventually come up. Your Max Clarks, your Kevin McGonicals, that it seems like Scott Harris is really, really on the bandwagon for. So
they're both up in AA now.
Yeah, you definitely need to listen to a deal like this if it's on the table.
I just don't know if it's apples to apples to compare an NFL trade to a baseball trade, and I do appreciate the reference. It is in the NFL, you are trading for draft picks, draft picks as opposed to minor league players that you believe are going to be something. Maybe there's something, maybe they're not something. We just don't know anything about these players. It is a commodity to have the draft pick in the NFL. Also, Brad Holmes, he was a talent evaluator and came from the Rams organization and knew everything about Jared Goff.
That's facts, yeah.
And I mean, a lot of us were sold on Brad Holmes before he even came here. Scott Harris really hasn't done anything yet. What has Scott Harris done yet? And again, he gets the opportunity to figure it out. He comes
from a good franchise.
He comes from a good franchise.
You got a guy from the Rays as well. You got guys that knew what they were doing with their other clubs.
What has Scott Harris done so far that gives you any sort? And I know you can't play with one arm behind your back, but has there been any signing that you think Scott Harris has done this offseason that leads you to believe that he's got a grasp of how to go about this? I mean, Mark Canha, Gio Urshela.
He didn't know that our first baseman, Spencer Torkelson, would have gone from 31 home runs to batting 160. He didn't know that.
But again, caveats. That's a big problem too. Like if you look at the opening day roster, you're talking about Parker Meadows, talking about Riley Green, you're talking about Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter. Kerry Carpenter is on the old, not that young, but you had all of these. Colt Keith. You had 4 players in your lineup that were just these babies, for lack of a better way to say. They were babies, so you've got to protect. Thanks, guys.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. You've got to protect your lineup. So, I mean, is Mark Canha going to protect those guys? Is Javi Baez going to protect those guys in the lineup? And I hate to say it, but if JD Martinez was on this team, the Tigers would be 3 games out of a wild card right now. If Matt Chapman was on his team, the Tigers would be 3 games out of a wild card right now.
Yeah.
And that's on Scott Harris or Mike Ilitch.
Yeah.
One or the other. Or both.
Yeah. All we really needed was about 2 runs in those first couple of months per game. And
when they score 1 run, when they score 2 runs, their record is unbelievable.
Right.
Well over 500.
Well over.
And again, for Broder had a great question in the chat when talking about whether or not to buy or sell. It's like, do you believe you are going to be in that game in the next 2 years? And I don't know how you can't believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to believe that. If you are not in that game, if you are not in the postseason 2 years from now,
what the hell are you doing?
You have absolutely failed.
Yeah.
You have absolutely failed, and we're going to get a new manager, and we're going to get a new president of baseball operations. You're going to get a new general manager. If in 2 years you're not in the playoffs, so yes, I do believe that is why you have to keep, in my opinion, right now, Tarek Skubal.
Look what the Diamondbacks did last year. One game from winning the World Series, a couple of innings from winning the World Series. They go 7 games with the eventual World Series champions. The who the hell won? The Texas Rangers. So, they were a wild card.
Right.
Just get in the game, man. Get in the game.
Young Yilbert Diaz pitching for the Diamondbacks tonight.
There you go.
Third outing ever as a pro. I'm looking forward to that one.
Guys, I wanted to play some Jim Leyland from yesterday. If we could, we'll do that next. Also, USA Today had some projections for the NFL season. Where are your Detroit Lions? All that and more coming up next. But first, a message from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sport League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. That's all over Detroit. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Make sure you register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Make sure you put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports. Ooh, and we're going to Planet Fitness too.
Planet Fitness.
No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. I think I passed 4 of them just on the way here. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free zone. You might even see Braylon over there working on those guns. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or visit them at www.planetfitness.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Leyland Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
the most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness, and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford has done by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile in the great city of Ferndale. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All 4 GM brands under one umbrella. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. And you can drive on over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is where a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is wicked awesome. Ryan Ermanni, Anson Wells, Tom Mazaway, Braylon out today. He'll be back tomorrow. We're going to take a quick pivot because I do want to introduce you to a young man who is doing remarkable things. His name is Nolan Cullens. He's 14 years old. And he runs track, Maximum Output Track Club. Stan Edwards is been doing this for 33 years, Maximum Output Track Club. And the team now is trying to get to the Junior Olympics in Greensboro, AAU Junior Olympics in Greensboro. And one of the fine runners there, Nolan Cullens, is with us. Nolan, good afternoon to you. How you doing, young man?
Good afternoon. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Look at all those medals. I was talking to Stan earlier today, Stan Edwards, and he was telling me about this young man that is so fast. He's been doing this for 33 years, and you are one of the best that he has seen. One of the great young newcomers to come up. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're trying to do.
I'm just trying to run fast. I've been doing this for a while now. Just trying to get faster and faster every day.
What's it like to be coached by Stan Edwards? How is that going?
He's a good coach, teaches us good, fun stuff.
Now, you are the #1 youth boy in the state of Michigan.
What event? I need to know what event because I'm a former track man myself.
The 100 meters and 200 meters.
And see, you're lucky. I had to run the half mile, the mile, the 2 mile, and the 2 mile relay. And I'm not even halfway done. These guys are done with their day eating orange slices. So what do you run the 100 in?
11.19 seconds.
Wow. At 14.
Yes, sir.
That's really impressive. That is really impressive.
And that ranks you first in the state and 10th overall nationally in AAU. You're going to be going for the gold at the Junior Olympics in Greensboro. What are some of the things that you're doing now in order to try to get to Greensboro and get that gold?
I'm just trying to rest and recover, get ready for the meet. Not too much. going on.
Now, do you have a hero? Do you the Olympics are coming up here this week? I think Friday they start, actually. Do you have somebody that you are looking forward to watching run? And, do you take anything away from some of these Olympians that may help you in your efforts?
I'm already see Noah Lyles run. It's going to be fun. He's a 200-meter guy, but he's going out for the 100 this year. So I like that. How
difficult are those events? What do you have to do to change your approach to that?
So the 200, it's really hard. It's a full sprint for half a lap of the track. The 100 is a little bit easier.
That 200, I feel like do you try to stop on the curve there? How does that work?
You just try to full sprint the whole thing. No. It's difficult.
The 200, the 400, and the 400 hurdles, from everything that I know from the speed guys, those are the ones that really, really test them. I want to know, at what age did you realize you could fly?
Actually, just last year.
Really?
13.
So you've only been running like competitive track for a year now?
Yeah, this is my first year of AAU.
Okay. So it's talent, which now you're adding preparation and practice to.
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic.
So what, Nolan, talk to me a little bit about your team and what you guys do at Maximum Output Track Club, because there's a number of your teammates. I think there's 28 of you. I think, you tell me if I'm wrong, all the entire team at Maximum Output. How's everything going over there with that?
It's going good. A lot of us are going to the Junior Olympics all over the state and everything.
Now, do you have friendly rivalries with those guys? Are you rooting for them? Are you competing against them, or all of the above?
No, not really, actually. Just by myself.
Good stuff.
One of the things I remember from track, and I know a lot of people aren't well-versed with it, guys like yourself have a lore. And when you see that school on your schedule and you know they got that guy, that's a big deal. And you fret about it, you worry about it, you talk up your fastest guy for him. Have you gotten a chance to run against some of the other best sprinters in the state?
Oh, yeah, actually, I have. I like running against fast people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Test you, right?
For
How
sure.
have you fared so far against the best guys in the state?
Haven't lost yet.
My man.
Now, Nolan, how can we help? Because there is a fundraiser that's happening to try to get you and your teammates to this AAU Junior Olympics in Greensboro, North Carolina. It is next week. The fundraising, obviously vital for the success of the program and to get you guys there. How's that fundraising going, and how can we and all our listeners help?
I was going pretty good. It would help to just get the word out, spread the fundraiser, and donate a little bit here and there.
All right, and that is the 2024 Maximum Output Track Club Junior Olympics Drive. Again, you can get there on verticalraise.com, and then 2024 Maximum Output Track Club Junior Olympics Drive.
Is that Vertical Race?
Raise, R-A-I-S-E.
Okay.
Vertical Raise. So we'll try to do that. What do you think about if you had your sports analyst hat on? What do you think about the Olympics coming up? Who is the favorite to win some of these races? Have you been so locked into your own stuff, or do you know anything about some of the big runners in the Olympics?
I've been pretty locked into my stuff, but I know Noah Lyles trying to break that Usain Bolt record in the 200. So
now, Usain Bolt, he's pretty fast. Can you catch him in a race or no?
I don't know.
Not yet.
A couple more years. Let him turn 18.
All right. Well, Nolan, thank you so much for coming in, my man. All the best to you. And again, let's get Nolan and the rest of the team to the AAU Junior Olympics in Greensboro. Maximum Output Track Club Junior Olympics Drive on Vertical Raise. Thank you very much, my friend. We appreciate it. We're rooting for you. Good stuff.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
all right, we are going to take a break. When we come back, Jim Leyland going into the Hall of Fame.
Wizard of Woodward.
That's right. USA Today comes out with their top, I was going to say guesses, predictions of the 2024 season, 2025 season. So all that and more next. But first, a message from Wake Up Woodward.
All right, Wake Up Woodward, the best morning show in the city, period, man.
Woo crew.
Every day, 8 to 10 in the morning, Monday through Friday. You can catch Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and myself as we cover all of Detroit's sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, that is Woodward Sports.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
To any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, it's Maz from Mark White and Associates. You know the scoop. Dreaming of a new home, but the financial pinch has got you? Well, don't worry. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help you. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242. You can get them online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And in closing, I would like to say this to the fans. No matter which Hall of Famer you're here to support today, or which team you cheer for, your presence is always felt. On your feet in the ninth, with the home team clinging to a 1-run lead, turning on your television for the first game of the World Series, and seeing 50,000 fans waving towels, hoping and praying that this may be their year. Or a little boy or girl getting their first autograph and scurrying back to the stands to show mom and dad their latest treasure. Ladies and gentlemen, that's you. That's baseball, and this is the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
Just, what do you say about Jim Leyland? You know, I watched his speech yesterday, and Anson, I got choked up myself. I'm just thinking about it right now because if you've ever been around Jim Leyland, you know how much this guy respects the game of baseball, how much he puts into baseball, all the work. He did it the right way. The track that he had from being a minor leaguer 40 years ago, you know, to finally getting the call up to Detroit as the manager, doing it his way, learning as a third base coach under Tony La Russa. I mean, this guy is one of the game's greats, and I just thought it was so much class, too, to go up there yesterday, and the very first thing he said is, I want to thank every single player that ever played for me, because without them, he's not there. And whether you're in the majors or whether you're an A-ball or whatever, He is just the greatest. Love this guy to death. And in 20 years, 20-some years of being around professional athletes, there is nobody that brought me more joy to be around than Jim Leyland, period.
We're pretty blessed here. When you look at all 4 of our teams, we have some of the most legendary and coolest coaches of all time. Scotty Bowman, obviously. Daddy Rich Chuck Daly. You got Wayne Fonts, love him. Dan Campbell, obviously. But then, you look, we had Sparky and Jim Leyland. And for me, it's Sparky a little more than Jim Leyland. But both of those guys are such legends. It's too bad that we didn't get Leyland to be able to win one in both the NL and the AL, to be able to have 2 managers to be able to do that. But we were really blessed to have him here during that run. Especially since we've had such a drought since he left. But it's really fantastic to see him in there. I kind of want to touch on Joe Mauer's just entire athletic resume, but Jim Leyland in that pocket was just so Detroit. The cigarette, I just loved all of it.
I love Jim Leyland as well. Feel like Gale Sayers when he talked about Brian Pickham. I love Jim. Listen, the most classy guy, the most classy, down-to-earth, almost middle-class guy you could ever meet.
Yeah.
You meet him at a racetrack. He's smoking a cigarette with his buddies, betting no horses. You meet him on the outside, in Florida or whatever the hell he is. He's there to talk to you and to sign an autograph and to do a story with you. Always smile, never be grumpy. He looked like a grumpy old guy. But I remember there was a time, and it's on Twitter or X, There's a video of him arguing with the umpire right before a game, back and forth. The national anthem comes on. He stands off, takes his hat off, does the national anthem, puts it back, and then gets in the umpire's face again.
That is great.
That's Jim Leyland.
Right.
And when Jim Leyland, in 06, when Mags hits that home run, and this guy is going around Comerica Park, and he's doing that dance. Remember that dance he was doing? And he's got the champagne, and it was freaking awesome. That 06 team, it felt to me, that was the World Series for us in Detroit. It's unfortunate. Yeah. It's been 40 years. But that 06, when they beat the freaking Yankees, and then they beat the A's, that was phenomenal. That was the best Tiger year I remember without winning a World Series.
Because it was so unexpected.
Yes. It was fantastic. And this guy, so happy he's in the Hall of Fame.
Here you go, Tommy.
And boy, was he cheated. Look, there you go. Watch this.
This is great.
He's arguing.
This is great. Yeah, I'm going to get back with you.
Here we go.
I'm going to get back with you.
All right. The national anthem. Blah, blah, blah. And right back at it again. That's Jim Leyland, guys. Jim Leyland. Jim Leyland at Hazel Park Raceway. There you go. That's a mic drop.
That is great.
God bless you, Jim Leland.
Yes,
you
man.
earned Cooperstown.
Hey
baby.
guys, I fixed Jim Leland's plaque for you guys.
This is the
Yeah, there you go. Well done.
So great.
That's it.
Well done.
You know, another part of that speech that was so great, and this was my favorite part of the speech, actually, is when he talked about Gene Lamont.
Yeah.
Because
Gino.
if you were ever around Jim Leyland, Gene Lamont was not far away.
Nope.
You know, whether they were at the Royal Oak Brewery or wherever that Royal Oak Beer Room or whatever they were at.
Hazel Park
Raceway.
Yeah.
They were in the Tigers clubhouse. They were always together. And I just, Jim Leyland has so much respect for the game and so much respect for the people around the game that helped him get there. You know, all the decisions that Gene Lamont had to help him make throughout the course of a career, all the players that, you know, helped him get there. I just think the world of Jim Leyland. I don't know if I loved it when he was eating all those pastas and dishes.
And doing the interview?
Salad. Right? I mean,
that's his way of telling you, hey, give me a break. I'm eating.
Right.
Back then, I don't think I appreciated it too much. As I look back now, that was really the golden years of Tiger baseball.
Remember some of the segments on radio? What is Jim Leyland eating?
Well,
was the segment on radio?
And then,
In my opinion, there's only one other coach that when he landed in Detroit felt like he was from Detroit. Jim Leyland and Dan Campbell.
Yes, sir. Very similar.
They may as well have been born here and raised here and fought battles here their entire life, because the moment they hit the ground, they felt like one of ours.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's why he went in with no hat, or excuse me, with no logo on the hat.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't want to disrespect anybody. I mean, if you're a Florida Marlins fan, you probably feel like Jim Leyland is yours. If you're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, you probably feel like Jim Leyland is yours. If you're a Detroit Tigers fan, you probably feel like Jim Leyland is yours. And
he's ours in Pittsburgh.
And the truth is, he's all of those. He's everybody's. He's baseball's. He's baseball's.
Truly, after this weekend, he is.
Seriously, because I just think it's fantastic. And then his kid is now managing as well. Patrick Leyland is now managing.
How about that?
In the White Sox organization.
Wasn't Patrick a Tiger at one time?
He was.
A farmhand.
Now he's managing in the White Sox organization, just like Jim.
That'll be awesome.
Started, right?
Very cool.
As a member of the White Sox.
With La Russa. Yeah.
Yep, with Tony La Russa.
Love for
it's so
full
funny
circle stuff.
When you see, just last point I'll make about this, and again, I'll get there one day. I hope I get there one day, but one after the next, all these Hall of Famers that are being introduced yesterday, Brian Kenny, one after the next, all the Hall of Famers are here. I mean, the struggle was real to get out to the stage. I mean, all these guys walking and limping and trying to move around. And
they took a beating.
Yeah. Dave Winfield, Tony La Russa, Jack Morris could barely get there. I mean, it was really hard on their bodies, the game of baseball, man.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, man. But baseball is it's a true Hall of Fame, man. But you know what? It's missing a few players, and they got to rectify that one of these days.
Jim Leyland did mention Barry Bonds yesterday as
you gotta
one of the
rectify
guys
it.
that helped get him there.
Remember him against Bonds in that spring training?
Yep.
That was classic.
That started it. That started the legend of Jim Leyland.
He basically told Barry, listen, you blah, 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 blah. You listen to me. I'm the manager. That was it. No one talked to Barry that way.
And I'll tell you, he also, he did it his way.
Yeah.
100%.
He wasn't going to let anybody tell him he couldn't smoke in the dugout. He wasn't going to let anybody tell him he couldn't yell at the star player. He wasn't going to tell anybody that he couldn't put the guy in the lineup that he wanted in the lineup. He did it his way. And I think there's admiration for that. I think people do generally want to be led. And if this guy wasn't the leader of all leaders, I don't know which was. And he did make a really nice moment saying Mike Ilitch was the best owner and the most competitive owner he's ever been around in his life. And that guy has been around a lot of owners too. And you forget maybe it's something to do with the self-made part of it. Mike Ilitch, the owner of the Pistons, Bill Davidson. I mean, these guys just that did it. They have such a way about them. They're winners at life too. You know what I mean?
Kids don't tend to have as much fire.
And that's okay too. You know what I mean? That's okay because those kids are raised differently. My kids are raised different than when I was raised.
Sure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just a product of I don't think my boy has the same scrappiness that I think I grew up with a little bit. You know what I mean? He just doesn't. And that's just a generational thing too. I mean, there are more things to do now. I mean, even down to the point where you just talk about the next generation. These kids sitting there playing PlayStation 5. Yeah. We're playing Atari. You know what I mean? And you go to the corner and you play baseball with the kids because there's nothing else to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good old days.
Fact, man.
Yeah. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about that. But
the rest of that class was pretty good as well.
Todd Helton,
man,
the first Rockies player to ever go in, I believe he was first or second.
Yep.
Joe Mauer,
which
was the headliner, I think,
Captain
out of
America,
and Adrian Beltre. I did not realize that Adrian Beltre, a long-time player.
Stud.
Good numbers.
I didn't realize a Hall of Fame player, though, because baseball is really hard to be in the Hall of Fame.
A lot of years of a high production at the high corner.
Yeah, no doubt. So, anywho, guys, we're going to get into this USA Today NFL predictions. Pretty darn good. Where they have your Lions We'll have that for you coming up next. And
they give you the Super Bowl and everything.
Everything. Here we go. We'll do that. Hour number 2 straight ahead. But first, a message from our injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce.
All right, Dr. Pierce, you know the scoop with him. Attention sports fans, do not miss our expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays right here on Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy D-Mac and Braylon Trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce will keep you in the game performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Tell them Woodward Sports Center.
And
what else you got, Mavs?
Tell these guys at Woodward Sports sent you as well. We're talking about the best pet store in Michigan's premier pet supply, premierpetsupply.com. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. They are never out of anything. They've got it all for you. Give them a try today. premierpetsupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
I'm pretty excited to do the read for Soroki's because I'm going to add a little something in here. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is absolutely taking over the state of Michigan. Known for their quality, hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tender sandwiches and New York-style pizza, and I'm going to add those honey biscuits because they are fire. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year, doubling it. Soroki's just had their grand opening in Madison Heights as well. Be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you. Do it today. I promise you it is fire. Or you can also go to Sorokis.com and get your order started there.
All right, guys, welcome in. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Anson Wells, Braylon out today. Tom Mazaway is with us. KG is with us. And so is the great Pete Spivak. Guys, USA Today came out with their NFL predictions this season. Going to go division by division. Going to give you the playoff picture as well. And just see what you think. We'll talk it out. And I do want to start with the NFC North because we are here in Detroit. Oh, never mind.
Sorry, we have the graphics.
That's all right.
So, yeah.
Okay, very good. We'll start with the NFC North first and foremost. They have the Packers winning that division at 13-4. And here's what they have to say about the Packers. What a dazzling statement quarterback Jordan Love made in his first year as the post-Rodgers starter, driving what was the league's youngest roster in 2023 to the verge of an appearance in the NFC Championship game. This talent-teaming nucleus should continue to ascend, especially if it enjoys the expected boosts from the new set of free agent additions like running back Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney. But the real delta here could occur if the new defensive coordinator who's shifting the scheme and charged with shifting fortunes of a bunch of underachieving despite being armed with 7 first-round picks, fresh rings in Titletown, could be. Packers 13-4, 2 seed.
That's heavy.
And news today, by the way, Jordan Love will not be in camp until he signs his long-term deal.
He's actually in camp, but not practicing. Still goes to meetings, but they are close.
Distraction.
They are close.
It's a distraction.
Yep, they're close.
The longer it goes,
they'll have a deal done in they'll have a deal done tomorrow. Guaranteed.
Well, and if they don't, the longer it does go on, I agree with you, Anson. I do think that is a little bit of a distraction. I think if you're the Green Bay Packers as well, I mean, can we see the guy do it for more than half a season?
Yeah.
And I know everybody's on the Jordan Love bandwagon. Everybody loves Jordan Love. Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the division. Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the NFC, heaven forbid.
Pretty much.
Jordan Love is the best quarterback we've ever seen in our lives. Best Packers quarterback of all time. Can we see it for more than half a season? If I'm paying this guy that money,
thank you, Ryan.
I'd like to see him accomplish it for a full season.
Unfortunately, they didn't replace Rodgers as quickly as they replaced Favre, so they're a little closer to that rookie deal ending. I got to be honest. This Packers love drives me nuts. This Jordan Love drives me nuts. But as a Lions fan, I absolutely love it because what we did last year, we should be the favorite. At the very least, right there is the 1B to the 49ers. But they're sleeping on us like they have since day one when Brad got here and Dan got here. So I like the fact that the bullseye is through the media on the Packers' back right now. This fits into exactly what the Lions thrive in. Count me out, and I will step on your neck.
I'll make this short and sweet.
I love that.
Packers are not winning 13 games. They're not. They're going to win 10 or 11 games, and we'll see what happens after that. They have an easier schedule than the Lions because the Lions won the division. They have a first-place schedule. But you don't know how easy or how hard a schedule is until the new season starts because there's always teams falling off and teams climbing back in. Packers ain't winning 13. They're not winning that division by 2 games. They're out of their mind.
Just getting back to what Anson said, though, I think you make an excellent point. An excellent point. If you're Dan Campbell and everybody is just giving you all kinds of love, it is nice to start putting stuff like this up.
All day.
Nobody believes in you guys. One-hit wonders.
Yeah.
You know, and I do think you need that as motivation. I do think professional athletes are motivated by being, quote-unquote, disrespected. This feels like being, quote-unquote, disrespected a little bit if you're the Detroit Lions. They do have the Lions in the playoffs, is the 5 seed, winning 11 games. Here's what they had to say about that. Like the Pack, their Lombardi bid last season came up just short in a playoff loss at San Francisco. However, outside expectations will now match what head coach Dan Campbell has demanded internally from his team for the past few years. The rest of the division, the Lions just won for the first time, is also fast improving. A pathway to the first Super Bowl berth in franchise history likely requires a strong start as the Lions play just 2 home games over an 8-week period spanning October and November, but it could happen if the young core continues to blossom. Jameson Williams needs to step up and reaps results from an upgraded pass defense. So Lions, J-Mo talked about as well, but I think this defense is where this team has really improved, specifically the secondary, everywhere really, every level, because I think even the linebackers have gotten better with the going to year 2 with Jack Campbell.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think that. So 11-6 for the Detroit Lions. Feels like that is kind of what I said. 11-6. I just don't believe the Packers are 13-4.
Me neither.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams finish with 11 wins, and it's going to come down to a very difficult division that you referenced there. Lions have to hold serve with the Minnesota Vikings and the Bears. If they win all 4 of those games, I think that they can win that division with only 11 wins. Packers are very good, and their offseason was spent trying to basically shore up their issues that the Lions were able to take advantage of. And they've done a good job of that this offseason. So if the Lions can win 12, I'm not worried about the Packers. But an 11-win season for the Lions, it's going to come down to a tiebreaker, I believe.
Hey, 11 wins, I'll take that all day.
Yeah,
just be healthy for the playoff run.
Certainly.
That's all I care about.
And, speaking of playoffs, they do have the Chicago Bears getting in as the 7 seed.
Yikes.
The Bears in at 7. 3 NFC North teams making it to the postseason. Bears 9-8. And again, this could be the biggest miss that I've ever had in my life. I just do not believe in the Chicago Bears.
Amen.
I just don't.
Amen.
I don't believe in Caleb Williams at all. At all. I just don't. And again, why don't I believe in him? Couple of things. One, I don't think he's got the temperament to lead an NFL program. 2, he fumbles way too much. If you go through every single game that he's played, and I went through every single game that he's played going back to Oklahoma, he puts the ball on the carpet at least once per game.
Yes, sir.
At least once per game. But those aren't reflected in any statistics because his team more often than not recovered those fumbles. You can't do that in the NFL. He has had every single game that he has played. 90% of the games that he has played in his collegiate career, he has had better talent on his side of the field than the team that he's going up against.
Good call.
Offensively, you really don't have to do anything. You can just run around back there and wait for your elite offensive receivers to get open. And it's no slight. That's what I would do in college too. But it feels like your athleticism could get you there in college. And I'm sorry, he's just not a Pat Mahomes type of guy to me.
No.
If he is and I'm wrong, I'll say I'm sorry.
We have no idea.
I just don't believe it.
Well, you look at his rushing where he did the majority, about half of his touchdowns last year came on the ground, where he averaged 0.9 yards per carry. Season before that, 1.9. The season before that, 3.9. He has regressed as a runner. Now, everybody talks about his ability to make plays and ad-lib when he leaves the pocket. When you watch the first half of his seasons, when he's playing against lower talent, he's able to make those plays and really look magical when he's scrambling and making plays on the run. Second half of the season, when he's playing top 25 talent, in division talent, those ad libs where he's doing it around better athletes, that's when you start seeing those fumbles and those mistakes. Now, when you're talking about a guy who has not been a successful runner beyond the line of scrimmage in the college game, I don't see him having that escapability and athletic ability. Once you got guys that are running, 4.6 40s at 270 pounds, his ability that everyone is in love with, I've seen it absolutely not present against highly athletic defenses. Yeah. And that's all he's going to be facing. Now, once he hits that adversity, he is an intriguing young man. He's a guy that I would kick it with. I love hearing some of the stuff that's going on in his brain. I don't think it's going to translate to a good quarter of many football NFL locker rooms. So your ability to lead that you don't like for him, I'm going to double down on that. When things get tough, when you've got an already positioned number one wide receiver in DJ Moore, you have an all-pro Keenan Allen coming in who's going to want the rock, and you have a Rome Odunze there. Who's going to get the ball? Is a rookie quarterback going to keep all those guys happy? We already know that DeAndre Swift is a problem. So everybody's celebrating all these people that they've brought in around to surround this young guy. I've seen it before with the former Redskins. I've seen these super teams come together and they have never, ever worked. The problem for Caleb, I think, is that there is so much pressure now with people like this right here picking them to make the playoffs. The moment they taste any kind of failure, I don't think he has it in him to hold the team together.
Well, we'll never know that. And I'm just going to say this.
Tough city, too.
When we did our predictions at the beginning of the year, way back when, I had 3 teams making it. I had the Lions, Packers, and Bears making the playoffs. I think
Braylon's got the Bears making it too.
Yep, he agreed with me. I said 9 and 8 or 8 and 9. 9 and 8 gets you in. 8 and 9 does not. I said I think they're almost where the Lions were 2 seasons ago when the Lions made that run. Early start, bad, then great finish, and of course they get nipped out of the playoffs. And I believe the Bears have enough talent to figure this out and be in the game, in the hunt. We'll know. Hard Knock starts in a week or so. The rookies are in camp. Camp will start this week for the Bears and for the Lions. We'll find out. But that division is closing in on the old AFC North, which we'll talk about later.
You know he got benched twice in OTAs?
Who did?
Caleb.
I did not know that.
He did.
I did not know that. KG, you want to weigh in here? By the way, Vikings 5-12. Not much expected of the Vikings this year.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the Lions are number 2 in this. When we got to the NFC Championship last year with the roster that we had, and then we improved. Like, we went through the each position group. That was like a month ago, and we all said they improved in every single area. So I just don't understand why they would have the Lions 11-6. I think this team is competing for the number 1 seed this coming season. Of course, the Packers will be their biggest competition, but we just need to see another year of Jordan Love before we can crown him.
And just to look around the rest of the league, in the NFC West, they do have the 49ers getting a 1 seed, 13-4. Rams getting in the postseason, 10-7. Not much expected of the Cardinals and the Seahawks. In the NFC South, Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons, or should I say Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons, 9-8, another close division. They've got the Bucks on the outside looking in there. Saints and Bucks at 8-9. Panthers quadruple their win total from a year ago. They've got 4. NFC East, this is interesting. Eagles 10-7. 10-7 wins the NFC East. Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, all with losing records. What do you make of the NFC East, Maz?
Cowboys. Braylon called it, right? He said Cowboys are going to have a down season. To me, 10 wins for the Eagles sounds low, but they gave their wins basically to the Packers because they made the NFC North the old NFC East, because the NFC East used to have 2-3 teams making the playoffs. I think they're a little off on the Eagles' win total. I think they'll win at least 12. Cowboys, I can't see them under 500. With all that talent. And I know they don't have a running game. We'll see what they come up with. Washington, I think they're on the upswing. Giants, 4 wins. I got a lot to say about the Giants. I'm not going to say it right now, but I think Joe Shane is going to be on the ropes in that one. I do believe that.
So aside from the Cowboys and the Bucks, who obviously made the playoffs last year, who do you guys see as a dark horse team that you feel could make the playoffs?
Or the Commanders.
The Commanders.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
I got Bears.
Jaden Daniels, baby.
I got Bears as my dark horse.
Well, they're already – I meant one of these ones not highlighted and that wasn't there last year. So we're talking Commanders, Commies, Giants, Vikings, Cardinals, Seahawks, Panthers, Saints. Anybody out of there
that team?
What was that?
Commanders are that team. And
I
now,
also like the Cardinals. Cardinals are sneaky.
I think
with
you're
full
right about the
season of
Cardinals.
Kyler.
I absolutely think you're right about the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, a full season, he played – I don't want to say really well last year, but he played pretty darn good last year at the end of the year when he was healthy. And a full season of him, can he stay healthy? That is the big question,
great draft,
as it always is with Kyler Murray. But, yeah, they had a great draft. And, again, when you look at Jaden Daniels, I think the Chicago Bears are going to look back one day and say,
oh, yeah,
not only did we miss on Patrick Mahomes, but we missed on the closest thing.
He's a polished Lamar Jackson. I think. I really think he's a polished Lamar
they
Jackson.
passed up on the Texans quarterback, C.J. Stroud, as well. Let him go.
That is.
They were damn well going to take a quarterback this year by hook or crook. And like I said, I was in Chicago this past weekend, made a lot of friends. I met a guy, Sean McHugh. He's on the chat here. Sean is a huge sports fan, and he he believes that the Bears are going to be 8-9, 9-8, but they have that anvil hanging over their head like Lion fans do. I mean, they haven't won since 1985 for crying out loud. So you never know.
Right.
You just never know what's going to happen there. Caleb Williams is a huge question mark, but he's got the keys to the castle, man.
That's right. We'll do the playoffs last.
Yeah, we'll do AFC after the break.
Let me take a break. We'll go AFC records next, and then we'll talk playoffs as well. All that more coming up, but first, the message from Guardian Alarm.
And what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people. This technology has been proven to work, and these people have been proven to care. So call 1-800. That's 1-800. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Leyland Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Listen, I know y'all tired of that old, outdated Detroit sports merch. Well, it's a new era in sports wearables, and Woodward Sports got you, man. We got all the crispiest designs, hoodies, tees, hats, everything guaranteed to turn heads. I mean, just that Buddha Kid shirt, it's just immaculate, man. And you know that Rams game is right around the corner. Want to grab you one of those. But if you want anything else on our merch shop, go ahead and shop, man. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab.
All right, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. I want to look at the AFC now. USA Today predictions.
Let's do it.
Let's take a look at the AFC.
Hopefully they'll get this one right.
All right, the number one seed.
The Jets.
Oh my goodness.
The number one seed, the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. Kansas City, 1 seed. The Jets are the 2 seed.
J-E-T-S. Jets.
The Cincinnati Bengals come in as the 4 seed, and the Indianapolis Colts are the Colts are the 3 seed. The Bengals are the 4 seed. So let's just go AFC West first.
All right.
Chiefs 13-4. Any reason to believe that they won't be the best team in the AFC again?
No. They should be. Defending Super Bowl champs, looking for 3 straight. They get bored during the regular season. That would be the only thing. But they got that division in lockdown. No question about it.
I think that they probably stumble again. And at some point during the season, the same worries about the Chiefs happen. Are they that good? It happens. Yeah. And then eventually they'll be fine. But I don't think they win 13 games. Okay. They'll still win their division, though.
Fair enough.
They have, the Chargers are not in the postseason. That is a typo, by the way.
Which would be correct, because I think they're a year away.
Chargers 9-8, a game out of the postseason, just for the graphics portion of it. But the Chargers, first year of Jim Harbaugh, has a winning record, 9-8, just on the outside looking in. That feels like an appropriate first season for Jim Harbaugh, does it not?
Well, if you like the corn and blue, it does. But if you're situated in reality, I see them under 500. Absolutely. They have massive issues all over their team. No tight end, wide receiver room of, a bunch of twos. Their running game, maybe Kamani Vidal is a find. Their defense is solid, but it's going to take a minute for everything to change over into the new system that Harbaugh brings. He's a proven winner, and he's great in the NFL as well as college, but I think they're a year away from a winning record.
Harbaugh don't lose. They'll win 9 games.
Yeah. And then the Raiders and the Broncos.
I'm surprised on the Broncos how low he has them.
Well, they were in disarray last year. Look,
I don't see Sean McVay with 2 losing
Sean
seasons.
Payton?
Sean Payton back to back. I just don't
quarterback.
See it.
I don't see that. Who's the guy from Oregon they got?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Not a Bo Nix guy. That's the guy that he wanted. It appears like that.
And Jerry Jeudy's
22-5 as a starter.
Again, Bo Nix to me is a guy, and again, I could be wrong on Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him as a guy that I think can lead an NFL franchise.
Who's he throwing the ball to?
Right. Again, I could be totally wrong. They
got a running back that's always injured. Jerry Jeudy's gone. I don't know, man. I like Sean Payton as a coach, but he did all this clamoring to get Russell Wilson out, and they haven't got a suitable backup or a suitable upgrade from that. So I just don't. I think that's appropriate.
AFC North, guys. Bengals back on top. Joe Burrow. He has got to stay healthy this year, doesn't he? Isn't that the first, second, and third part about this?
No doubt, man. Without him, they're not a playoff team. Flat out.
And you know who is not a playoff team as far as this goes either? Look who's third in that division.
That I'm shocked at.
Yeah.
I'm
not
nuts?
sure about that one.
They're nuts.
I'm not sure. The Bengals defense downgraded. They lost DJ Reader. They got Sheldon Rankins to replace him. Trey Hendrickson won it out. Who's the receiver that won it out as well? They got some problems in Cincinnati.
T. Higgins?
Man. Yeah, T. Higgins, he won it out as well. I just don't know. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, yes, they can win games, but I don't think they're beating out the Ravens, though.
No, that's the Ravens division, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm high on the Browns as well as Maz. We've heard from Maz all year long about the Browns. That's a really great division. Any one of those 4 teams could come out and make the playoffs at the very least, but I do think that the division is up for at least 3 teams to win. The Browns, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens.
To me, that's a 3-team playoff division.
4 teams, all teams above 500 in that division.
Yes, I would agree. I just, people are so excited to just cancel Lamar and the Ravens, but they're too good.
Yeah.
They're too good on the offensive side and the defensive side. And they brought a pretty serious running back in Derrick Henry to that team. And that is what this team has missed for the last few years. J.K. Dobbins hurt. Gus Edwards got them to the AFC Championship last year. So you bring in a guy like Derrick Henry and you don't really take anything off that team. You give them a fully healthy Mandrews. I like that team to take the division.
So you got the Browns at 10-7, Ravens 10-7, and Steelers 9-8.
I'm sorry. What has Deshaun Watson done to warrant the fact that we think that they'll win 10 games?
They have the most talent in that division.
Deshaun,
head to toe.
He seems the team is great, but Deshaun Watson just seems washed at this point.
Well, I think they're banking on that he's not any worse than Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And you know,
the
you
fact
think about
that you
who
even
Joe,
comparing those two.
But
is
again,
crazy.
what I'm saying is Joe Flacco got this team to the playoffs last year. Joe Flacco,
That's saying
who
something,
is
though.
on the couch. And if the quarterback that you pay $212 million to is not better than that guy, then what are we doing here?
Seriously.
So I think that's what you're banking on at that point.
And it's the Browns, guys. Let's realize this is the Browns. This is up until 2 years ago the same thing. This is the Lions of the AFC. So the Browns often get in their own way. I do see them on the edge of the playoffs. But to your point, KG, Deshaun Watson is just such a concern for me.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Aaron Rodgers is a concern in the AFC. 12-5 for the Jets, and everything year for the Jets this year. Look, they go all in on 1 year. They got to do it. It's either this or everybody's fired.
Absolutely.
You know, it's either this or everybody's fired and everybody's gone. I do think the Jets are. I think the Jets are winning this division if Aaron Rodgers is healthy. I don't think Aaron Rodgers forgot to play football or forgot how to play football. If healthy, and you talk about a guy, we talked about bulletin board material for the Detroit Lions finishing second. Say what you want about Aaron Rodgers, but he sees all this stuff about him too. And you don't think this guy wants to put together an MVP type year for this New York Jets team? I think he'll do it.
If Brady can do it, he can do it.
Well, he doesn't have to have an MVP type season. You had a collection of trash under center in New York last year, and they were still in play until the last couple of weeks of the season. So I think that he can take them to the playoffs. The way that people are anointing a 40-year-old quarterback to be an MVP and to win 12, 13, 14 games, I think that's a little bit much. Braylon and I also agree on the Cowboys as well as the Bills falling off this season. I don't know who the Bills are going to throw to. I'm a Khalil Shakir fan. I know Keon's a little young, but the Dolphins, to me, are the team on this list that should be feeling just as offended as the Lions feel. This is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's surrounded by talent. They added even more to their already stout backfield. They've got a strong defense. If I'm a Dolphins fan and if I'm in that locker room, I'm pissed.
Mike McDaniels, I think, is a great coach.
Absolutely.
On his way to being a great coach.
I think that
He's a
division,
fun guy.
that division's between the Dolphins and the Jets like it used to be back in the 80s.
Can I ask you guys a question? I'll combine this too, because if you look at the AFC South, Anthony Richardson and the Colts, they were one game away from winning the division last year. They were a fourth down call, a drop away from winning the division last year, knocking the Texans out. Jaguars in the playoffs, Texans not in the playoffs. And if I had to ask you guys, the question that I have is Ravens, Dolphins, Texans. These three teams are currently out of the AFC playoff.
Wild.
All
right
three
now.
should be in.
All three will be in.
Yeah.
Which team do you feel is most likely the team to miss?
Out of those three. Texans,
Dolphins, Ravens.
Dolphins,
the
probably.
team most likely to miss.
I would
You
say-
say Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Texans.
Really?
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And it goes back to when we did the predictions last week. Something along the lines of, I think that CJ Stroud is going to have a sophomore slump. And I just don't think an NFL career is just this steady rise.
I feel you.
And again, it's based on nothing,
Right.
just a hunch. There are bumps in the road, and I think this could be a sophomore slump. Everybody is saying how great the Texans are. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. And I just think they're the one team out of the playoffs that I would say they're going to remain out.
You know, I'm on the fence between the Dolphins and the Texans. It's really an intriguing question. I believe in sophomore slumps, but what I did see out of CJ last year was consistent improvement week to week to week.
Yeah.
In the second half of the season, his wide receiver core was a mess. Guys were in and out, missing weeks upon weeks.
But look at it now.
Yeah, and I think that Joe Mixon is an upgrade over Devin Singletary.
They just added Cam Akers too to that backfield.
Yeah.
As a backup, yeah.
couple of a lot of torn things in that guy's legs. But no, that's a team that I think is poised to allow CJ to not have that fallback and that regression. For me, the Dolphins, I'm going to have to say the Dolphins, and it's purely based on their division. I love the Colts, but I just don't know what AR is going to do coming back into that offense. Adonai Mitchell's a great addition, but it's probably going to take him maybe 2 or 3 years to really impact the game. And I just am not a Jaguars believer. So I would not be surprised to see the Texans win that division with a record that might not have otherwise gotten them in the playoffs. Now, for the Dolphins, I think the Bills, they probably are a little bit better, but it's so deep. And if the Jets do play the way that we think they're going to play, they're going to have to win via a wild card. So I see the Texans more likely to win their division than the Dolphins getting a wild card.
7 make it, right?
7.
I'm looking at this. I can't pick 7.
Right.
I would eliminate the Bills. So I would put the Dolphins up at number 2 there in the AFC East.
Okay. And the Chargers over the Texans?
So Chargers, no.
Okay.
Chargers they're not even a playoff. Remember Ryan said that was a mistake. Okay. There's only 7 that make it.
Yep. Yeah.
The Jags are not going to make it, or the Colts are not going to make it. Only one of those teams are getting in the playoffs in the South. I think the Texans are better to me than both of those teams. And how do you bet against the Texans? Right. Even if he has a slump, they have more talent than both those teams combined.
I agree. Again, it's just a hunch.
Right.
Just a hunch. I mean, if you look at last year as well, for as great as CJ Stroud played last year, it was a 4th and 1 drop by a backup tight end that even allowed them into the playoffs.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay? So that doesn't even happen if they make it.
That's how tight the NFL is, man.
Yeah. Right.
This is unbelievable. Yeah. I can't pick 7 out of these guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's recency bias.
I get it.
If that pass is caught, the Indianapolis Colts are in the playoffs, and the Texans are not. Let me ask you guys this question, okay? Chiefs aside. The 3 division winners they have, Colts, Jets, Bengals. Which one of those 3 teams are you absolutely certain will win the division? Oh. You are more confident in blank to win the division when it comes to Colts,
I got your answer.
Jets,
Bengals.
Bengals.
I got your answer.
Bengals.
Straight from New York, Mr. Maz.
None. I don't believe in any of them to win the division. How's that?
Choose,
even the Jets.
Do I have to pick one?
You got to choose,
yes,
man.
The Bengals, then.
Bengals, yes.
Most likely to win.
Yeah, if Burrow's alive,
and again,
they win.
They're the division with the most talent.
If Rodgers is alive, the Jets will make the playoffs. He goes down, they're done.
Right.
And the Broncos and the Bengals are done.
You can say that about anybody.
No, those 2 especially.
Yeah.
Those 2 ride on Rodgers and Burrow.
Yeah.
Without them, those teams don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take.
I'm afraid for Rodgers, to be honest with you. I'm afraid. Everything is on the Jets. They're not going to win 12 freaking games.
Well,
no way.
He's not going to make it the whole season.
They're not going to win 12 games. They have them winning 16 games.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
What? Yes.
Because let's go to the AFC playoffs right now. Let me tell you.
It's not up there, but we have it here.
Okay, this is what it is. The AFC playoffs.
Not getting that
Okay. 2 Jets beat Browns. Jags beat Colts. Bengals beat Bills. Divisional round. Chiefs beat Jags. Jets beat Bengals.
Man.
AFC Championship game.
No way.
Jets beat Colts.
Way.
NFC playoff picture.
Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yes.
Jets
beat, is not beat the Chiefs.
Jets beat Chiefs. NFC. Packers 2 seed beat Bears. Rams 6 seed beat Eagles. Lions 5 seed beat Falcons. Divisional round. 1 seed 49ers beat 6 seed Rams. 2 seed Packers beat 5 seed Lions. Championship game. 2 seed Packers beat 1 seed 49ers. Your Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, the Jets, a couple of 2 seeds. Jets and Packers. Jets defeat Packers.
I won't watch
Win
that
Super Bowl 59.
59.
I will not be watching that one.
Do they make this in a drug legal state? Is this made in a drug legal state?
I swear.
So that would be the Jets' first Super Bowl win as an NFL team. because the only Super Bowl they won, they represented the American Football League. Super Bowl III. They weren't even in the NFL yet.
How great is that?
I want Jets-Lions.
Yeah.
The battle of the nothings. That would be a phenomenal Super Bowl.
Wouldn't that be the Browns-Lions?
And the Browns. Throw the Browns in there, even though they're the Ravens.
Yeah, Browns-Lions would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
It would.
Do you, Aaron, the storyline of Aaron Rodgers, everybody watches NFL. Everybody's going to watch the Jets. Everybody's going to watch anytime. You could have any game.
They're on 7 times.
Yeah, right. You can have any game, but especially because it's him. Let me ask you, do you feel that most NFL fans are thirsty for this Aaron Rodgers story? Or do you just wish they'd go away, the Jets?
Well, New York fans, Rodgers fans want him in, which is a small portion. The rest of the league wants to see him go away and never be heard from again. That, to me, that's what it is.
Good for the NFL or bad for the NFL if the Jets are good?
Oh, great for the NFL.
Yeah, it's only bad for them if they repeat what happened last year.
Just to have Aaron Rodgers in.
3 plays. 3 plays is all it took to ruin the Jets and the entire NFL season.
It's wild.
Right there. That's
the
what it
thirst
took.
is real for an Aaron Rodgers MVP season.
They want to write that story.
What about the Lions for a minute? Okay,
they're loved.
Just when you talk about the Super Bowl, okay, Packers are getting all this love. What do you think it will take for the Lions to get on this sheet to the Super Bowl?
Getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly,
they've just never been there. It's hard to pick them to get there, you know?
Yeah, and the media is not going to get behind them at this point. Last year was cute. They still view us as this cute little story. And, okay, they finally made an NFC Championship game. Great for them. All right, they'll fall off. Like, that's why you see all this Jordan love, as you stated earlier in the show. And I'm just not buying it, man. If you really look at what this Lions team has done year to year to year, I know success normally isn't linear, but with this team, it has been. So I don't get it, man. But like you said, this is perfect bulletin board material for the Lions going into 2020.
I think the Lions are the darling of the NFL.
Give me a Super Bowl matchup. This one says Jets-Packers. What's your Super Bowl matchup? Like, unofficially, before we do our predictions. Just on the heels of today, unofficially, you saw what USA Today had. Your Super Bowl matchup, I'll start. Mine is Lions and Bengals.
Lions-Texans.
Lions-Ravens.
I second that.
Lions-Ravens. Can I go back?
Yeah.
Lions-Ravens.
My man.
All right, guys.
You are allowed, sir.
We're going to take a break. When we come back.
Lions are winning it all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We have to hit on what happened with Team USA, the Olympic basketball team.
Damn it, I just missed.
Oh, man. I want to hear about this.
Man.
Wait.
It took me a second to figure out what you just did there.
We'll do that next. But first, a message from Swiss.
Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit SwissINS.com. And now, over to the great Anson Wells.
We've got a brand new challenge for you, Detroit. The Ally Challenge, presented by McLaren, is back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. Leave the golf to the pros and don't miss the party at 17. Hole number 17. They're going to have $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Leyland Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
To any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, let me tell you about KDK Law, dealing with divorce, child custody visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, or you can call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back. And if you could have our back, that would be fantastic. Hit that like button for us. Smash that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon out today. Anson Wells in his stead. Braylon will be back tomorrow. Maz, I got good news for you.
Let's hear it.
Your entire Around the NFL could be saved for tomorrow.
Yes!
Maz's Around the NFL segment is tomorrow.
I got it loaded up, too.
You got it loaded up.
Loaded up.
Anson, I want you to opine on this, if you will. Team USA, and you were watching this game against the South Sudan.
He's a sicko.
I love hoops. I'm very intrigued by this team because it's the end of the old guard, you know, with Steph and KD and LeBron, and then some of these new guys, you know, like Ant-Man and Halliburton and some others. First and foremost, Jason Tatum and Devin Booker both proved that they are not superstars. But this game, I gotta harken back to your comments last week where you want LeBron and Team USA to lose, Mass.
I do.
Why?
Because he hates LeBron.
I root against LeBron. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Even at the expense of America.
I really want the women to lose more than the men. I despise the women's team.
And for
sorry.
good reason.
I just don't think I could ever root against the colors.
I've done it. I've done it. It's fun.
And see,
that's it, man. Root against them.
And
44-point favorites. 44-point favorites against Sudan.
And let me touch on that because
and they survive.
I'm a LeBron hater. I do not like LeBron, but when he wears those colors, like you said, the red, white, and blue, I am a fan. Now, this Team USA basketball squad in the first half, I wanted them to lose because they were playing so poorly. They were not playing team basketball. Sudan was playing the game the right way. And I don't mean like thumbs down, bounce passes in the girls' game and stuff, but I mean playing every possession like it was their last, moving the ball around. This Carlick Jones, who was 3 inches shorter than anybody else on the court, that guy can run my point any day. Put up a triple-double, 15, 10, and 10, maybe 15, 11, and 10. But what I saw out of the U.S. team was so poor in the first half, and then even a large part of it in the second half. But there was 3 guys that were not letting them lose. LeBron, number 1, his boy AD, and the refs, the same way the Lakers always win. The refs absolutely kept Team USA in that game.
Doesn't that suck?
Well,
as a basketball fan, don't
there's
you
a
hate that?
fortunate side to that, though, Maz, because the intrigue of them winning by one makes fans want to watch a little bit more. If they lose to that Sudan team, South Sudan, there's a lot of fans that might just punch out early before the opening ceremony even starts. But I got to say, I was not impressed. I came away so impressed with that Sudan team, featuring the second round pick of the Detroit Pistons, JT Thor. They were so long, so athletic, so hungry. If it weren't for that third quarter and the calls that I watched happen, there was 3 traveling calls. 2 of them were not even close to traveling. Who calls traveling anymore?
Not against them.
But hats off to LeBron for not flopping and complaining very little and willing Team USA to a win.
I would love to see LeBron on the stage getting the bronze medal.
Oh my God!
I would just
Stop
love
it,
that.
Maz.
I would love it with his mug sitting there.
Domestic terrorist man.
That's what I want to see. That would make me so happy.
You know what you're like right now?
Evil Maz is
You know
back.
who you're like right? You know who you remind me of right
Yes,
now?
I know.
Buddy.
Buddy, the guy in the car. You hate for no reason.
Some guys, they just hate for no reason.
Hey, take the bronze medal, LeBron.
No, LeBron is not my favorite athlete
He's
of all
carrying
time.
the flag in, for crying out loud.
But, I mean, when you got USA across that chest,
Yeah, man.
that's it.
Sorry.
That's it.
I'm ducking out.
But in the women, you can't stand the women.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Because Caitlyn not there.
Where's Caitlyn?
His Lord
Where
and
is she?
Savior Caitlyn
Where
is
is
not
she?
there. So
Caitlyn should be on that team.
she's getting her game up.
They beat Team USA, WNBA
I know.
All-Stars.
I actually saw it. I
loved it.
I gotta say, this Caitlin Clark, and I gotta give Angel Reese credit too.
Yeah.
These two are playing their tails off.
They really are.
I really didn't know much about Angel Reese, to be honest with you, other than, everything that I heard about Angel Reese was because of something that happened off the court or a gesture on the court. Mm-hmm. She can play now.
Yeah.
Don't say it now. She can play.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, all right.
That's fine. But everything outside of her game has been the focus of her.
And correct. I would agree.
And I think that's a detriment to her. Like, she does herself a detriment, I think, by having all of those other things that she does off the court, whatever it is.
She doesn't do anything. She's peace.
Oh, my God.
Well, let me
She's
ask
peace
you
and love.
Well,
Ringo Starr?
what I'm
Yes.
saying is she's a really good player, and I don't know, man, because like all of that attention off the court has gotten her people to recognize her game probably. Yeah. Because otherwise, it's just another WNBA year 28
Yes.
of a 3-decade league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chirping happens in sports. I mean, come on.
But there is, this is year 28 or year 29 of the WNBA.
Wow.
There have been really great players in this league. Nobody's ever paid attention to them in mass before. These two stepped on the floor. And I had a buddy that was in Indianapolis a couple weeks ago, and they were like, hey, let's get tickets to the Indiana Fever game.
You went?
Yeah.
He went.
Oh, I thought you went with him.
No, I did not go. He went. He called me up the next day, and he said he's never been to a professional sporting event like that. He's like, he didn't even know how to describe it because of it was an hour long in the team shop because that's how many people wanted to buy Caitlin Clark stuff. The line to get into the building, the noise in the arena, the fervor that the fans had for that team. He said he's never seen, and this is a sports fan now, goes to a lot of games. He said it was better than any NBA game he's been to in the last 15 years.
I believe that. That's amazing.
It was a better atmosphere than any NBA
Let's
game
keep
he's
her
ever
off
been
the
to.
Olympic team.
Right.
Let's not let anyone enjoy her game.
He was not
Let's
a game
keep her
5
home.
after.
I'd rather see Diana Taurasi throw up.
It is over with, man.
No, it's not over with. It's over with because they're idiots. That's why it's over with. I wish the WNBA team could get in the Olympics and beat the living daylights out of that USA team.
How many Fever games have you watched this year?
None. None.
So I've watched some games, and I know, KG, you're an Angel Reese fan, and the more and more I've watched her game, the more and more I have to give her more credit. She's actually starting to take some threes now, and she's been hitting some. Mm-hmm. She's starting to look like Bill Laimbeer out there. My question for you, Who has a higher vertical?
Between her and Caitlin?
No, between Angel Reese and Bill Lambert.
I would say Angel Reese.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That girl does not get 2 inches off the ground when she's putting it back.
That is
She's so long, and she understands positioning. She is a cerebral player, and I have to backtrack on some of my, I wouldn't call it hate, but my dismissal of Angel, kind of believing that she was in the spotlight purely because of Caitlin. And, a lot of girls and guys can be great at the college level. When I watched her college game, her athletic ability, I just didn't think it was going to translate.
Yeah.
And even when you watch her putting these double-doubles up, it's not the prettiest rebound. It's not the prettiest putback, but nobody can seem to stop this girl. And that was the same deal. I mean, Bill Lambert had the shortest vertical of anybody that led the NBA in rebounds. That's a fact. And I've got to say that Angel Reese is along those same lines. But if she could develop an outside game, and that's a big if, but I think she can do it. If she can develop an outside game, these two could have a very similar effect on the NBA that we saw from Magic and Larry in 1980 throughout the rest of the decade.
I'm here for it.
You got a fan club on the chat.
Where? Who?
You want to check it out?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I could say that, right?
Yeah,
It's not wrong with that.
Sure.
Yeah, on the chat, lesbians for Ermanni. Say Clark single-handedly built this league.
Great.
Hey, go. I'm with you, man.
What did Tony tell Apollo in Rocky 2? Men love you, women love you.
Children.
Young people love you, old people love you.
You're the best.
Everybody
You're
loves you.
the
You're the
man.
best. You're the man. You're the man.
You're the one.
Now stick
You're the
'em.
one.
Right.
Show them where you are tonight. Show them where you are tonight.
Right away.
Stick him.
I'm up to the last part of the Jake Gyllenhaal Apple TV
Presumed
Innocent.
No.
And
You like it?
I love it.
Is it? It's worth watching. I
It's
couldn't
definitely
make it
worth
past
watching.
the first episode.
And the last will be on Wednesday, so I got to wait till Wednesday till they drop the finale. Cobra Kai is out. The first part of the last season.
Oh, really?
Is out.
Season
Season 6.
4 too many.
I just fast forward through the fight scenes, but other than that, it's pretty good. It's been well over baked. It's jumped the shark, but I'll finish it. Ralph Macchio still
It's flat
in it.
out
We
burnt
got
at this
Johnny
point.
in it still. It's
Pete loves
fun,
it still.
Fun things on television.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Mr. In Between, you guys, get on there and watch Mr. In Between.
Mr. In
Nobody
Between.
ever heard of it, but please, Mr. In Between.
Hey, Ryan, the other day we came up with the 5 television series that they pulled off television way before its time, the ones that hurt you the most. Can you think of any off the top of your head? Like,
there was one that the
TV
three of us
series,
shared.
yeah,
which
3
was
of us
Winning
shared
Time.
one
Winning
of
Time,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Like,
all,
they
we all
cut
shared
it
Winning
short.
Time, the Lakers dynasty.
Friday Night Lights. Did they pull that off?
I don't know. I haven't
thought
watched
they-
Friday Night Lights.
I don't know if it got canceled, though.
I don't know. No, I don't. Yellowstone, really.
Okay.
Oh, that's still on, though.
Well, I know, but without Kevin
No
Costner
Kevin
now.
Costner coming up.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
This will be the final season of Yellowstone,
Yeah.
and there's no Kevin Costner.
You guys just ruined
So
my day.
I would
dude.
have to say Yellowstone.
Why'd you have to tell me that?
You should have known that.
Yeah,
I should have known that. That was a serious spoiler,
Should've
gentlemen.
came with the bag. He still
That's
beat it.
it. I'd
How
have
do
to
you
say
even have the
Yellowstone.
last season
Hey.
of that without him?
Go Tigers, baby. Tarek Skubal, let's go, man.
Yep.
Got to
What
win
do you think?
tonight.
They get it done, man.
Yeah.
They
go
gotta
against
win
Carlos
tonight.
Yeah, gotta
Carrasco
win tonight.
But we got to look at this rain. Is it going to Cleveland? That's the question.
Is it going to Cleveland?
We don't want it to go to Cleveland.
It's
I
on
don't want
Cleveland's
3 innings
end.
out of Skubal.
No.
I need a full game.
Absolutely. It's on Cleveland's end.
Let's go.
All right, gang. That's it for us. Anson is in tomorrow with Braylon. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Kenny G, the great Pete Spivak, Tom Mazaway, the man, the myth, the legend over here. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.